This Saturday night, we're going to be having the Dancing Rabbit Music Festival downtown McAlester, and one of the artists that's going to be just gracing McAllister's city streets will be Bryan White, and we have the pleasure of having him on the air today. Mr. White, how are you doing?
Man, I'm great, Brandon. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, and I'm honored and blessed to be able to have you on the air this morning, just talking about your life and career, and to be able to talk about how excited you are to be able to get started with tomorrow's music festival in downtown McAlester. Well, like I said, it's not every day that I get the opportunity to speak to someone who has all the accolades that you do. Again, CMAs, ACMs, a Grammy, but we all got started somewhere, no matter what we do. So what was your start in music?
Man, I got to give credit where credit's due. My mom and dad were musicians, and so I guess you might say I got it honest, you know. So I grew up around, music in the household because of my mom and dad, and that's really where I kind of got my start, got bit by the bug, and, my passion for music came from. So, and then my dad introduced me to all the greats, like Merle Haggard and John Conley and Ronnie Millsap and all those guys, and it was over with, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've charted 17 singles in your career after getting, your start in country music. 6 went number 1, and the song God Gave Me You, that took your reach beyond our country, was an international huge hit. So when you think about where your journey started, like Lawton, Oklahoma, and you see your music get that much reach, how does that feel? That's got to be pretty surreal, right?
And Brandon, it's the coolest feeling in the world. I mean, really, when you start making records and you start jumping into this whole thing, I mean, I think I feel like I'm kind of speaking for anybody that does this, in the music world. You really just want your music to make an impact, and you want it to connect to some corner of the world, wherever that may be. And so just to know that, a song took your music to the other side of the planet is just such a great feeling, I think that's it. At the end of the day, you just want to know that your music has connected with somebody, and that was really a kind of a surprise out of nowhere. So, really a cool, exciting thing.
So we're going to talk about your performance tomorrow in just a little while, but picking a favorite song of yours has to sometimes feel like picking a favorite child. So when you think about what songs that you play that is your favorite to play live, which songs stick out to you?
Oh, my gosh. That's a tough one. I think it's kind of like, all your songs are kind of your baby,
right.
Babies. So you show, it's hard to single them out, but I would probably say there's an up-tempo that was a hit for me that I really love. And that I wrote a song called So Much for Pretending, and it was a number 1 record. So I would say that's probably, if it's not my favorite to do live, it's in the top 3 of my favorites to do live. So.
Sweet. And you've also had the opportunity along your career to work alongside other megastars in music. And I'm not asking you to, again, pick a favorite artist. You don't want to single anybody out. But what were some of your favorite projects that you've worked on with some of these stars?
Oh man, there's so many. Gosh, and what a blessing to be able to, have so many that you can't decide from. Well, I'll just kind of rapid fire here, but I got the opportunity to tour with Vince Gill on his tour all through 1997.
Sweet.
And that was really a dream come true, being able to not only be the opening slot for the tour, but to be able to watch such a great artist perform every night and get up and sing, with him, and that was really a surreal moment for me. And then, my biggest influence ever was a guy named Steve Warner, and Steve was and still is my hero. To be able to have done a couple of duets with him and traveled with him on the road and written songs with him, that's really the end. That's really sort of something that's hard to put into words, because when you're a kid, you pick your favorites that you're trying to emulate, and then one day you find yourself in the room writing a song with them. It's kind of hard to wrap your mind around, and even when I think about it today, it still feels weird. It feels surreal, but you're just grateful.
How long did it take you to actually kind of calm the nerves a little bit once you find yourself in that room and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this? Because I can only imagine if I were able to speak to I don't know. I was a big sports fan. So if I was growing up and I found myself in a room with Derek Jeter and I was like, hey, I get to interview this guy, I'm like, my goodness, how am I going to calm myself down? When did it kind of set in to where you were able to be like, hey, I can just do my thing? But like you said, it's still kind of weird to think about.
Yeah, I get what you're saying totally. Man, to be honest, I really don't know that I've ever really totally calmed myself down in those kind of scenarios, you know. Half of it you're trying to fake it and be chill, and then the other half you can't contain yourself, you know. So it's I'd say I'm pretty relaxed, but at the same time I'm still sort of the teenage me going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here, you know?
Right. And we mentioned this earlier. Again, we're getting closer now. Just tomorrow night is when we get to be able to put a whole block party down here in McAlester, Oklahoma. And we're very blessed to be able to bring your talents down to the heart of our city on Choctaw Avenue. Again, this last year kind of got hit by a storm that we're not really used to. Ended up tearing up a couple of buildings down there. So we get to have a little bit of a celebration of our community coming together, and you get to be at the highlight of that as well with some other great artists. But how did this kind of come together? How did you find yourself saying, okay, yeah, I'm going to come over here and party for the folks of McAlester?
Well, I mean, it always starts out with, you know, your agent or your management calls you and says, hey, you know, you got an offer to play this festival, and you know, are you available, and does it sound like something you'd love to do? And for me, I mean, when I see Oklahoma in my inbox, I mean, I'm just like, I'm already kind of subconsciously saying yes before I even say yes, just because I love to come home. Mm-hmm. It's not only a great opportunity to come play at home, but it's, you know, I get to see family, and you know, I just don't get home as often as I used to. So it's really a threefold, you know, kind of an excitement for me. So I get to come home and play music, but I get to kind of do some things and see some people that I haven't seen in a long time. So it's really a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, and it's going to be a different environment than what a lot of, I guess, different venues are like, because it's, like I said, a block party. Sometimes you're used to venues of being inside of an arena, or maybe you're inside of a different venue, maybe like a ballroom or something. But this is a block party where people get to sit up their lawn chairs and they get to go up and down Choctaw. So what are you most looking forward to tomorrow for the Dancing Rabbit Music Festival?
Well, I think it's, for me, I mean, getting to play music is the pinnacle, you know, being able to come and play your music for people, and to bring some joy and some happiness, like you said, in light of some of the damage that they've sustained. I think this is really going to be exciting to be, you know, it's an honor to be one of the many artists on the billing tomorrow, just to come bring some joy and some escapism to people. And, you know, I know Oklahoma is full of country music fans, and so I'm just thrilled to be one of many, and you know, really excited to see the turnout and to play my music.
Absolutely. That's the Dancing Rabbit Music Festival tomorrow night, downtown McAlester. You alongside Brent Cobb and the Lowdown Drifters and Cole Phillips and so much more. And we're excited to be able to have you tomorrow. Is there anything else that you would like to add while we still have you on the air here, Bryan?
Oh, gosh. Well, I definitely would love to tell everybody about my new single that's out right now. It's called Imagine That. Yeah, my new song, it's called Imagine That. A lot of people may not know it's brand new for me, but it's also a song that I wrote for Diamond Rio back in the 90s. It was a big hit for Diamond Rio.
Oh, wow.
And I never got to do my own version of it, and so this is finally, you know, coming full circle here. I get to release my own version of it, so it's excited to share Imagine That with everybody. So.
Sweet. All right. So, again, make sure that we check that out. Again, Imagine That, old Bryan White's version. Again, the one that you wrote, and I'm excited to be able to check that out. Again, are we going to get to hear a live version of that maybe tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Sweet. I'm excited. All right. Again, that was Bryan White. Thank you so much once again for stopping by, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow.
You too, Brandon. Thank you, sir.